Hey, how y'all doing out there? This is Nico B. You know me from the Black Effect. But this is a topic on part of the Awakening show that I'm doing. You know, spiritual messages. You know, definitely giving you some meat. You know, giving you some knowledge. You know, from the Most High God. You know, from the Bible, from Scripture, and things of that nature about life, man. You know, that's the best gift that you can give anyone. You know, they not. I know the black churches, for the most part, you know, a lot of people feel that they failed, which is true, because they failed to teach. You know, look at the black community. If they have not failed, then the black community will be in a lot better state. Don't you agree? If they were blessed by God. You know, so obviously the churches, you know, a lot of them are jackleg. Some of the stuff I see coming out of the black church, I agree, you know, with the people. It's just been disgusting. It's disgusted me. You understand? Even my grandma, you know, before, you know, she was the woman, the lady who, you know, her and my other grandma was the ones who taught me about God, you know. They was official, you know, lady women of God. But even she didn't go to church like that. And she said the same thing about, you know, these people scamming and just the people in the church being some of the worst. And I didn't know what she meant when I was a child, but that was the truth. You know, the people in church be the ones who really be sinning and really be out there. You know, they so pretentious. You know, so they don't want to include nobody. You know what I'm saying? For the most part now, they include everybody. You know, they don't have no scrutiny anymore, which is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? You come in there, they take this term "come as you is" so out of turn. But let me get into this visual video, and I just want to talk about, you know, that it's so much pain in the world today. And I'm going to give you the main reasons why. Now, all of these things stem from a lack of God, you know, lack of the spirit of God on earth. You know what I'm saying? The more and more that depletes, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it's definitely depleted in the country. You know what I'm saying? The numbers are dwindling, you know, of actual, you know, people who serve God. I mean, it's the number of Christians, people who say that they're Christian, may be high, but the number of people who actually are serving God is very, very low, or at least trying to do God's will for their life is low. All right, so now I said these things stem from a lack of God, but I'm gonna get into them specifically. The first reason why people are so unhappy on the earth right now, so much pain, is loss. You know, people are, you know, they losing loved ones quickly. Even people are dying quickly. You know, people are dying at 50 years old. I had an aunt who was only like 55 years old when she passed. People are dying, you know, at young ages. You know, people are losing people like this. You know, police officers are killing people. You know, people are killing themselves. You know, suicide rates are going up, you know, amongst men. You know, men and women. Things are getting crazy. You understand? You know, people are very unhappy. You know, people are very disloyal these days. You know, they're and I'm gonna get into that, but you know, it's because of the loss, you know, that the loss of things, also the loss of assets, the loss of houses. People, you know, are losing they riches. You know, having to pay taxes. You know, God is able to allow you to lose things. Like, people are getting robbed, scammed by, you know, by everybody. Everybody's trying to scam everybody. But yeah, when you losing stuff all the time, that's because you're cursed by God. You know, you're not supposed to be losing stuff all the time. You understand? Like, people don't do that. People who are on point, you know what I'm saying? And God will point you into the direction of the things that you need to find. That's how real it is when you in the spirit. When you truly in the spirit of God, man. That's just how it works. All right, and let me get to the next one. Number 2 is confusion is upon the earth. It's too much confusion upon the earth today. You have it's basically just you have people with all of these with the internet, the ability to be able to get all of this knowledge very fast, and because of that, people are very confused. That you would think that's all of that knowledge would make them very smart and and sharp, and but it has the opposite effect. Funny. It's the irony of God. That's why God sit back and laugh. God is very ironic. He likes these things. That's his character. I don't know. Some of these things are funny. Like it's like the Twilight Zone. You understand? But pardon me. Yeah, confusion. You just have all of these people telling you this philosophy. All these people telling you this philosophy. Next week you got this philosophy. And all of these philosophies are just, making people run head just be spinning. You got people running out here going to slut walks, women calling themselves sluts. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you women get pretty much giving up their power? You know what I'm saying? As women, it's like I would never thought I would see something like this on the planet Earth. All of this backwards, bad is good type of thing. People identifying themselves with the sex that they weren't born. Men chopping off their penis. All of these things going on and on. And I'm not gonna get into the confusion of the transgenders and things like that, or transgenders are that's up to them if they want to do that. At the end of the day, but I'm not gonna sit here, and act like that even just homosexuality wasn't in the psychology, the book. I forget what book that was, but I think it was in an official psychology book classified as a mental illness. We haven't, nothing was changed. They just plucked it out, Once again, confusion. And that brings me to number 3. The number 3 is lies. It's so many lies on the earth. So many people telling lies. There's so many people, man, if really, that saying is true. Like, a pair of lips will tell you anything, you know what I'm saying? And it's really like that in this day and age. Like, I don't even give people, it's hard to even give people the benefit of the doubt anymore before, you check it out for yourself. But, that skepticism is toxic also. Like, you want to be able to trust people, you know what I'm saying? And do things like that. Like, let's be honest. But in this day and age, it's like DTA. It's like, don't trust nobody. People don't even want to trust their damn kids don't even want to trust their damn parents. And sometimes rightfully so, because parents is, wicked today. And kids are wicked also. Like, woe to those who having kids in this time, you know what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing from the Bible, but this is true. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a very bad time to to try to build trust or have trust in relationships, and that's why a lot of things just don't work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get into that also. That's another one, but just too many people telling lies. Like, it's the government. We understand that that's just a organization full of liars. We understand that now. Like, we see that, and that's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that that's something that we've seen with our own eyes in this lifetime. But it's unfortunate that it's like that. But it's very fortunate that we know that and have that information. I don't depend on the government, man. You know what I'm saying? I depend on Jesus Christ himself, the Spirit of God. That's it. And that's the only thing we should be dependent on, because that allows us to practice self-governance. You don't see true people who doing God's will for their life. You don't see David Carroll. You don't see Pastor Billy Graham, going out there and mass murdering nobody. You don't see him beating his wife, do you? You don't see them, that book, it's a whole book full of saints. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see Mother Teresa, people like that. You don't see them going out and grabbing and slanging mad crack to their people, And you don't bring up the phony pastors to me, because that's another part of it. They are liars, man. They are liars and sowers of confusion, man. And they have a triple portion in hell for them. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how many people they led to hell? These pastors out here sleeping with the whole congregation. These pastors out here, cheating on their wife. These pastors out here, because you're supposed to be, if you are a pastor, man, you know what the Bible say, man. You have to have one woman, man. That's your obligation. You have to be a man of one wife. You ain't got time to be chasing thotties, man. What's wrong with you? But see, you know that's what you niggas is on. All right, well, that brings me to another one. Number 4 is poverty. The black community is in shambles, and still, we are in poverty. We in the black community, like, we don't, sure, some of us are very blessed by God, and have, exceptions to this, but for the most part, we don't have any wealth. We don't control any wealth. You know what I'm saying? You have some rappers, and you have like I said, a few people, entrepreneurs and people doing good for themselves, could have a decent black folks who got a decent career. But even still, you know what I'm saying, as a whole, we don't control any wealth. The way you listen to Dave Chappelle and Martin and them tell you that when you get a little bit of money, you know what I'm saying, as a black man, then you meet the white men at the top. It's in. I was watching a video on this, man, and it was a guy, just see Boogie, and he was telling and he was saying, about how, Ray, you go to Las Vegas, you have men, pulling up in 5 Bentleys, and, one man, you know what I'm saying, he got 5 Bentleys, a fleet of Bentley cars pulling up just to stun her. He has, he's spending $5 million, you know what I'm saying, at Vegas, wasting it like it's nothing. You meet a different type of, you think these white men ain't got money? Rockefeller, the richest, you know what I'm saying? You got Rockefeller, you got these Arab men who like the richest men in the country, you know what I'm saying? It's not your American black men, you know what I'm saying? Or even the descendants of Ham. It's none of that. So poverty, and poverty is striking America anyway. Poverty is all across the world. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it's just not enough to go around, but at the end of the day, it's greed. You know what I'm saying? It's greed that's causing a lot of that, you know what I'm saying, and the anger of God, and that things like that are on the earth. All right, so I'm gonna get into the other one, which is we on number 5 right now, which is hunger. Number 5 is hunger, and poverty is caused by hunger, but hunger is caused by poverty. And at the end of the day, when a person is hungry, even the Bible says this, man. The Bible knows this. When you poor and you hungry, you're gonna, want to steal or do other things. You know what I'm saying? Because you're hungry, you gotta eat. Everyone has to do that. You gotta do that biologically. Like, that's just something you have to do. You gotta feed your body. So that's pretty self-explanatory. No one's gonna be happy. Look at these people over in those other countries, man. I feel very sorry for them that, they go hungry. You look at these documentaries and things like that. These kids have these distended bellies. It's very sad, you know what I'm saying, why people over here be wasting food, stuffing their face. You got obese people over here just like it's nothing. Definitely black folks, a lot of us are obese. Sad. The chosen people of God are obese. That's sad. And then you have these big old companies and chain restaurants who, be having these workers just throw away tons of food at the end of the night. Why even people over here in this country are starving, and homeless, and they know they could get that food away, but they don't do it. They'd rather just throw it away. You know what I'm saying? So, This stuff right here is ridiculous, man. But let me get to the next one, and that brings me to number 6. We are on. That's fashion and worrying about what people think. Worrying about what other people think in fashion, that is that is a very big thing that's making people unhappy today, because you see it in women a lot. You can see it in women very, very overtly and just outright. They're getting more plastic surgery than ever. Women today are getting more plastic surgery than we've ever seen. More black women are getting more plastic surgery than we've ever seen. Black women have always had natural curves. It's kind of like ridiculous and overkill for them to go out and do the things that they're doing. They haven't. And I mean, I have sympathy for the black women. You know what I'm saying, because they have an identity crisis, and they've been bombarded by white supremacy and all of these, brainwashed by a lot of other things. But they've also abandoned the spirit of the Most High God. They also, even though they the most, like I said, they're in church the most. Church folks are the worst. The churches have failed, and why do you think that is? Strong men left the church long ago. They've been there. They did. But church is not just a building. We need to return to the Most High God and start building again as men, as strong men. And teaching our boys and teaching the communities. You know what I mean? But like I said, worrying about what others, think. People, even the boys are being raised so effeminately. They're worrying about what other people think too much, and you have to be an individual. God has a different purpose for everybody. Everyone's unique. Every single person, has a, and it's different. Everyone don't have to do the same thing or fit into the norm. It's different functions to the body. Even the body of Christ. We don't have to. We all have different talents. Some of us, have musical talent. Some of us have more oratory talent. Some of us have writing talent. Some of us have talents to make movies. So it's a lot of things going on. God uses people for his own purposes. And like I said, everyone's unique. Quit worrying about what everybody think. Like I said, black women, you heard the term used to be black don't crack. But yet now you got black women beating their face with makeup, looking like some crazy people, if you ask me. Like looking like clowns, looking like trannies, man. Like some transvestites, or looking like men. You know what I mean? Looking like men trying to be women. It's crazy, and that's the irony of God. You doing all of this to your face and making you look worse. And you only attracting certain type of men. You giving up your power. Women are giving up their powers, man. Like, and it's gonna have, in 30 years, they're not gonna be able to even get anything, or use their feminine powers anymore. They're gonna forget how to use them. God's gonna do that. I'm gonna do a video on that. But the next one is, and then social media too. Like, oh my God. But that brings me to number 7, the final one on the list, and that is relations, man. Oh my God, relations and relations between, or relationships, both are horrible. Relationships are horrible because relations between people aren't even good. People, no one trusts anyone these days. Like I said, it's DTA. Women, don't trust men. Men don't trust women. Everyone's out for their own agenda, and people, have this cynical mindset. You have nothing but social media going on. When people are out, they have these cell phones that they bury their head into. Just go out on any train, any bus, any public setting, even in any public setting. People have their face buried in their phone. I've seen people on dates. I've been on dates, and all you see is these people with their face buried in their phone. It's like, why don't you be engaged in a situation? This is why you're unhappy. All of these things are caused by the lack of God. And it is what it is. We need to return to the Most High God. This is not, something, that's new. It's going to get worse. All right? It's the Black Awakening, man. I'm Nico B, and I'm out.